Hey YouTubers, John with Green Abbey Rolling, and today I'm gonna get you guys caught up on how my last, say, 2 weeks have been. Not so good. My luck has run out, kind of along with the 49ers, but we're not gonna talk about that. Alright, so yes, just before going home for my home time, the weekend of the Super Bowl, I delivered in Perryville. I had 2 deliveries on one load. Picked up out of Van Buren, Arkansas. Right, yes, Van Buren, Arkansas, off the 40. My fleet manager did a great job. I had personal business to do on Monday, so I told him I can't be rolling out on Sunday. I need to have a load, if possible, that I could deliver Tuesday, so that way if I roll out even Monday afternoon, I can still deliver first thing in the morning on Tuesday. Well, so what had happened is he gave me a load. He kept me in the area of Missouri and Arkansas around that week. So I had 2 deliveries on Friday before that weekend. I was able to kick one off on Thursday night, which was the same day I picked up in Van Buren. It was a load of, half the trailer was loaded of barbed wire, the other half was just game fence. It's for Department of Transportation. So as long as you go along the interstate, there's barbed wire around highways to keep the cattle and wildlife from crossing, and then there's game fence. Stuff I used to work with when I worked for ADOT back in the day. So I delivered the game fence that afternoon, just before I ran out of time and before they packed up and went home. So I got to sleep on a new portion of a future interstate, which was kind of cool because it was peaceful and quiet. Had the whole thing to myself, so that's kind of cool. Got up Friday morning, made it all the way to Perryville, Missouri, kicked off my second delivery, and I was empty. Then I was hoping, like I said, that they'd come up with something I could take, go pick up. Kind of was hoping not to go to Blytheville, Arkansas. The reason is that place is a mud hole. There's a steel plant there. Don't really want to say the name, but it's a mud hole. But luckily for me, didn't have to. Unluckily for me, finished up. I had 4 hours again, just like the previous week, to go get a load. There was nothing. So I didn't get anything. Just before 4:30 Friday afternoon, my fleet manager calls me up and says, just when you legally can, go ahead and head home empty, and we'll get you something. Call me Monday as soon as you're available to see if we can get you something and rolling. All right, cool. Unfortunately, they make you wait until the end of Friday, end of the work day, before they gave you the final word to head home, the permission to go home, which kind of screwed me because, I was 3 hours away from home. I would have liked to have said, hey, if there's no lows, let me get going. But nope, that's not how it works. I run out of hours, so as soon as my 8 hours was done, I had 4 hours to get home, and it was a 3-hour trip. So that's what I did. Soon as my 8 hours done, I did the 8-2 split, gained my 4 hours back. I rolled out like 11 o'clock at night and made it home. Got home, did the typical home time stuff. Got to enjoy watching the Super Bowl. Of course, it didn't work out the way I wanted, but hey, it was a good game. I'm not gonna talk too harsh. And Mahone, kind of like the guy, so can't really, again. Unfortunately, they're playing against my team, so I wanted them to lose, but I give him props. Mahomes, badass quarterback. So good for the Chiefs. Unfortunately, Quest for Six is still on for the Niners. But no doubt, anyone who wants to, talk crap, they can talk crap, but you can't deny the fact that we have a badass team. It just didn't work out in the end. Anyways, so then another unfortunate thing happened. Didn't get some of my personal business I wanted handled on Monday handled. So I just called up my fleet manager. Hey, truck's ready to go. I'm loaded up. Let's get on down the road. Let's start making some money. It was a frustrating weekend. So I get a load out of Russellville, Arkansas. Got some lumber. Picked up that afternoon. It was cool. Kind of a short run, which is again bonus. Got all the way down to by Dallas. Delivered the next morning, Tuesday morning. Delivered up. A little frustrating. The Trimble kind of screwed me up with the directions, and then at the same time, right at the customer's property or business, the roads were all under construction and coned off, so it was difficult getting into that place. It was not fun. I had to do some detouring, bypass the place, circle back around about a mile down the road, turn around, come back the other way. It was just not as easy as I wish it was. Anyway, got unloaded the lumber. Next load was awesome. It was only 15 miles away. Got some shingles. No tarpy needed. It was awesome, right? So it was going up toward Kansas. And I said to my fleet manager, again, I like to be home this weekend. Try to get home on the weekends now to see how things work out money-wise. And the roommate, she's missing me. So, plus, every time I'm gone for weeks on end, things get undone at the house. And my honey-do list kind of grows on me, even though I ain't got a honey. I'm not your husband, you're not my wife, but funny how that shit works out. Anyways, she's a missing me, and the honey-do list builds up, so I try to get home on the weekends now. It's not working out. Not working out at all. I'm sitting in Albuquerque. It's Friday. I'm in Albuquerque. Okay, so get you caught up on why and how that happened. I'm on my way to Kansas. Was it Wednesday? No, Tuesday. Delivered till Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday afternoon. I'm rolling out. Tuesday night, get a message to head toward Amarillo instead of where I was going. I'm like, okay. So what had happened is a winter storm came blowing in. Another truck with another load that was going to New Mexico broke down. I had to get to Amarillo, take his load of shingles, which was ironic. Sometimes I wonder if we're just like moving shingles around, just not really for a purpose, just to look like we got loads. But anyway, picking up his shingles. So the cool part is basically I just swapped out trailers, and the stuff in the trailers are supplies in the box. Kept my dunnage, or he had dunnage, I had dunnage. We just decided There's no point of swapping dunnage. Dunnage is dunnage. It's just wood. 4x4s, all right? I kept my straps. Swapped out some of my pads. And, yeah, stuff in the box. But, super simple. Made it quick. He was broke down. My load got picked up by a team driver because they had, so now with the two of them in the truck, they can run like teams. So it was a trainer. So it wasn't a team truck. It was a trainer. They could run like a team. So to get my Kansas load delivered on time. But my load that now I have has to go to the middle of nowhere, to the four corners of New Mexico to get delivered at a Home Depot. So I swapped out, and then the other issue was all the EFS cards, which EFS is how we get our fuel and pay for other stuff, went shut down. The entire nationwide EFS crashed. That's a huge foobar. All right, you got just our fleet alone. We got 2,600 trucks. That's just our fleet. Now you can't get fuel. I pulled into Amarillo with probably less than 10 gallons in my truck. I was right at the E line, the E, like holy crap. So needless to say, I've already changed out my fuel filter. When you start getting the bottom of the tanks, you're getting the crap down there, your fuel filter is going to get clogged. So save yourself a roadside service, change that sucker. It's easy. It's a mess. So have bib balls, dirty shoes or old shoes. I got old shoes, but I had my boots on. So fuel's going to dump everywhere. So I pulled off on the side of the highway, took my time, did my 30-minute break, swapped out my fuel filter, wear gloves, got the rubber mechanics gloves. So a little bit of a tip there. Again, you unscrew. They'll show you how to do it in training. So change the fuel filter. Man, I had to call just like everyone else who needed fuel. Had to send in the macro on the Qualcomm or the Trimble to road repair to get your fuel card basically turned off. Yes, it's weird. It's like they put it into. Jeez, dude, this guy's hauling butt coming in here. Like he's like. This guy. I'll talk about how to park and how to prefer parking in a minute. But this guy came swooping in like he's in a hurry. Like, oh no, my favorite spot's going to get taken if I don't get to it now. I mean, I don't care if you're even running out of minutes and you're about to be in violation. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in a truck stop already. Your ass is covered. All right, you're in a truck stop. You could be driving around in a truck stop looking for a spot. You're pinpointed, all right? Your GPS is going to pin that you're not on a public road. Sure, you got to put in a different macro. For us is like 35. Put in an explanation. Looking for a truck spot in a truck stop. I'm over on my hours by 5 minutes. Oh well. You're covered. You're good. Anyway, there's no need for these guys to be driving like 45 miles an hour, swooping around in these truck stops. It's stupid. Okay, rant is over. So back to what I was saying. Had to get fuel. Got the card shut off, but allowed to get fuel, which is basically like TMC saying to EFS and to the Flying J, well, oh yeah, we'll cut you a check. But basically, I was able to get 118 gallons, and then it got shut off. And then I had a boogie, man. Boogie. I got all the way to Tucumcari, New Mexico on the I-40. Got the message that the EFS was fixed. So, I guess it was fixed. Pulled into the Flying J, tapped off the tanks again. Because where I was going, to the middle of nowhere, four corners. Okay, what I mean is four corners is you're the northwest corner of New Mexico, and then you got Colorado, Utah, and Arizona. All right, the four corners. There's nothing up there. It's gorgeous up there. Yeah, if you ever seen the cartoon Cars, Life is a Highway song and and all that, and it's a cartoon Cars with I don't know, race car, Lightning McQueen or whatever. Anyway, you get the Route 66 plateaus and desert scenery. That's how it looks. I mean, it's gorgeous, but there's nothing up there. But Home Depot, apparently, because that's where I was delivering my shingles to, the Home Depot. I got all the way up there, and it happened to be on my birthday. So that's kind of another reason why I kind of wanted to go home. Get there, parked up. They didn't care parking there at the Home Depot. First thing in the morning, got delivered, got unloaded, sent in my message like usual. Almost made the rookie mistake. The rookie mistake is basically you're doing everything by the book. What I mean is, with these e-logs, I'm on the property at the customer, so I'm not on a public road. I didn't have to show that on starting my log, starting my vehicle inspection, and my unload at the same time. Because that's a rookie mistake. And what I mean is, if I didn't get lucky enough to be completely screwed over, and what I mean is, I didn't get a load. No loads. I had to stay a whole day and a whole nother night at Home Depot because there's no loads up there. There's nowhere in the area for me to bounce to get another load. Luckily that happened because if you start your clock sometimes too soon, the hourglass is already, tilt over, the sand's dropping, you need to get a load. Now the pressure's on to the load planner, to your fleet manager, and basically you. You're the one getting screwed over. They don't care. They're sitting at their office. They don't care. Oh, why didn't you save your hours, is what they would say. Why'd you start your clock? Well, legally, you're supposed to, because I'm actually doing the action of getting unloaded. And I'm expecting you to have my next load ready. But that doesn't happen. So I got screwed over. So being the nice guy, covering a load to get it delivered on time, now has cost me a load. It's Friday. I still have no load. It was about 11 o'clock before I got a message of my next load. Going to just north of Albuquerque to get some wallboard. And initially the load was going to Phoenix, Arizona, which was cool, awesome. Since I'm already not going to be able to make it home, might as well just go all the way west where I like and prefer. But as I listened to the Tremble, which I did another rookie mistake. Don't listen to the Tremble. I wasn't feeling well. I was under the weather, and I mean, like, I woke up at 2 a.m. puking my guts out. I went and got some tacos at a local Mexican restaurant near the Home Depot. And I'm watching this guy back. It's a straight back. But he got out, he looked on my side, but he's not looking on the closed ass side. Right. He got out, he looked, saw plenty of room on my end, but you see how close he is to that bumper? Not to say he can't make it in. He needs to get over a little bit more closer to me. You want to swing his front end around a little bit. Get close to the driver mirror. Alright. He's swinging. Swing your front end around so you can see this side. Oh, now he's going to pull forward. He'll get it. gonna hit that truck. Jesus, dude. Alright, he got it. He got it. As long as he don't hit my truck, it's all good. He's got flammable material on his truck. Let me grab my personal shit and you can burn this whole thing down. Alright, so yeah, I had some local tacos. I've never been sick on tacos before. So I don't know what got in me, but it ejected about 2 a.m. in the morning. I was not feeling well. Like, felt sick to my not really to my stomach. I felt sick in my head. Felt hungover. Like my head was pounding. Sinuses were all jacked up. The heater was working. It was about 18 degrees outside, and where I was at, it's freaking dry. Like Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, that area, there's no moisture. So when you turn on the heater, it dries even more out. It dries the air out even more. So that's probably why when I blew my nose, I had nothing but blood. So my sinuses were all jacked up and dry, and caused my headache, made me feel sick. I sat up, I drank some water, down some Mountain Dew. I was thinking the caffeine would help suppress my headache, because basically caffeine is, or aspirin's caffeine. So, and that's what they claim. Take some aspirin for your headaches, but I don't take aspirin. I take Excedrin. So that's all I had. So I'm sitting there in bed, sitting up, still feeling like crap, head hurting. And before I knew it, like all of a sudden, you get that urge, that watery throat. You know what's about to happen. And what had happened is I freaking bolted through the curtains here, jump in the driver's seat, open up the door, and just let it out. Man, it was bad. Luckily, got it all out of the truck, and again, luckily I was parked next to a gravel dirt pit, so there's nothing, like I didn't make a mess all over the parking lot or anything. It was just like all rocks and gravel and stuff. Yeah, that was a rough night. Rough night. Could not sleep after that for a good hour and a half. Didn't feel, safe enough to fall back to sleep. I had to brush my teeth. Oh, it was bad. And then I, finally laid down and woke up. Woke up to the message being told that there's no loads yet. So, like I said, fast forward a little bit, about 9 or 11 o'clock, I finally get the message of a load going to Phoenix. I screwed up listening to the Trimble. Alright, so the Trimble routed me the longest possible way ever that made no sense. So where I was at was Farmington, New Mexico. I took, coming across the 40, hit Albuquerque, went north on 25, exited the highway or Interstate 25 to take Highway 550 all the way north, or actually west. So I'm watching other drivers do their thing. So that's the way I was expecting it, basically right back toward my pickup is. It's just north of Albuquerque. So that would be the logical route to go. Well, me being sick as heck, a migraine from hell, I finally get this load. I was just going to listen to the Trimble, just guide me out of here, get me back down to 550 toward where I got to pick up. It was roughly 180, 190 miles. Before I realized it, I'm going west on 64, heading for Highway 491 south toward Gallup, New Mexico, which is on the basically Arizona state line. 270, it would have been more like 290 miles to get to the shipper. What the hell? So my fleet manager messages me if I'm going to make my 1500 o'clock appointment on time. I pulled off the road. Very rarely I do that. I very rarely pull off the road to respond because normally it's, I got this, don't worry about it, or there's nowhere to pull off anyways, or I'm not going to take the time. Time is of the essence. You know, I don't have any time to pull off the road, answer your questions, get driving down the road, for you to respond again, for me to pull off the road again, to respond to that. It's just, you guys, the company ties up your hands by telling you, which is a lie, that it's illegal to use hand-free devices. No, it's legal to use hand-free devices. It's illegal to not use hand-free devices, such as your two-way radio or your Bluetooth or your headset. But arguing with them is like arguing with a brick wall. It's just pointless. So I ignore them. If they want me to follow policy, I'll follow policy. I ignored them. So I finally pulled off the road, told them the situation. Yeah, I probably would have made it with 40 minutes to spare. To be honest, I would have made it. It was just annoyed the hell out of me that my out-of-route miles are now going to be blown out of the water. Like, I'm screwed on this load. Screwed on the whole week. That amount of miles out of route, you're screwed. Your whole week's done. But I get to the 40. I'm through Gallup. I'm heading toward Albuquerque. And I get the message. He tries to call me, too. I'm not going to answer the phone. So then I get to exit 39 where there's a Flying J. I exit. I call him up. And I get the message that my load had been canceled to Phoenix. So go ahead and find a place to park up. Your next load is same place picking up, but now I'm going to Texas, but it picks up Monday morning. So now I got all the time in the world to make pickup on time Monday morning, get my 34-hour reset. Got me a shave, had a shower at that Flying J. No hot water. Yeah, that sucked. No hot water at the Flying J. So, shaved with cold water, which actually dulled the hell out of my blade. So, brand new blade that has multiple blades. Hurt. It felt like when I was pulling the hair out when I was shaving. But, yeah. That's how my weeks have gone. I am heading to Texas, West Texas, between the 10 and the 20, for Tuesday delivery. So, a couple of things. One, another week where I don't get park up points. Two, I still have not been shown or seen that extra 2% for driving the entire month of January. So I've messaged my fleet manager about that. He said he'll look into it and let me know. No word yet. And of course, they've gone home for the weekend. So we'll find out Monday-ish. So that is how my luck has run dry. And hopefully I'm going to hit that reset button. Use this weekend. I'm now in Albuquerque. I'm like 15 minutes away from where I go pick up on Monday morning. So it is Friday, so I got Saturday and Sunday. Go fart around. I'm going to get out of the truck tomorrow and go walk somewhere. Go get some fresh air, some exercise. It's still cold as heck here. But definitely hit that reset button, get in a better attitude, and realize that week is just gone. It's fried. And hope next week it's much better. Unfortunately, my PM service is coming up. So in the next week, actually, I think the 15th is when they want me in Joplin to get my PM service done. So I got detailed the inside of the truck, which really isn't much. I've already detailed. It's what I do when got no loads to go do. The outside of the truck is filthy dirty, but that's what happens in the wintertime. Yep. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is John with Green Eye Be Rolling. I hope you guys have a better weekend. Be safe out there on the road. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, hit me up. I try to message you back. And be good to each other. I'm going to try to look for that positive side and not let all this negativity put me down. All right. John with Green Eye Be Rolling. Out.